Point-slope form. Forms of linear equations. Okay, we have three different forms of linear equations. The first one is the slope-intercept form. Remember that is given by y equals mx plus b. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. The second one is the point-slope form that we just saw. It is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The m is going to be the slope, and x1 and 1 is going to be the given point that this line passes through. And the standard form, we saw it at the beginning, is given by ax plus by equals c, where a, b are both 0. Usually a is non-negative, meaning positive, and a, b, and c are integers, which greatest common factor is 1. So we have three different equations for the line. We can write the same line in three different ways: slope-intercept, point-slope form, and a standard form. Let's go to the first exercise, first examples, that says write this equation y plus 5 equals 2/3 x minus 6 in a standard form. Okay, what form is this given? Let's see, y plus something equals a number times x minus something. Okay, it's very similar with this one, with point-slope form. Y minus y1 is going to be y minus -5 equals the m times x minus something, minus x1. So this is given in point-slope form, and the problem is asking to change it to a standard form, meaning to this form. So a standard form, I'm going to rewrite it here: ax plus by equals c. I need to change to this one. So I need to bring all the x's to one side, the y's to one side, and the right side of the equal sign needs to have a constant, a number. So I'm going to rewrite this one here: y plus 5 equals 2/3 times x minus 6. The first thing we see here, we have a denominator 3. We have to multiply both sides by 3 so we can get rid of this 3. I'm going to multiply by 3. I'm going to multiply this 2 times 3. So now we can eliminate the 3 with the 3, and we have 3 times this parenthesis and 2 times this parenthesis. Remember, we need to do distributive property when we have a parenthesis. I'm going to multiply 3 times y. I'm going to add 3 times 5. Let's do it. 3 times y is 3y plus 3 times 5 is 15. I'm going to do the same thing in the other side. I'm going to multiply 2 times x and 2 times 6. 2 times x is 2x minus 2 times 6, 12. Then I have a linear equation here. I eliminated the 3 in the denominator. I don't have the 3 in the denominator anymore. I need to pass the x to the left side, so I'm going to do something to get rid of the 2x here. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, minus 2x. Okay? I'm going to do the numbers now. 2x minus 2x is 0, and I have in the right side negative 12. In the left side I have 3y minus 2x plus 15. Now I have y and x, like in this equation, in the left side of the equal sign. Now I have something that needs to go to the right. This number here, this is another constant, needs to go to the right. To eliminate from here, since it's adding, I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. I'm going to subtract 15. So negative 12 minus 15 is negative 27 equals, this goes away, and here I have negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 27. Look at that, how similar this one is to this one here. You can identify very easily how much is going to be a. In this case is the coefficient of x. My a is going to be negative 2. My b is going to be the coefficient of y, is going to be 3. And my constant is the number that is in the other side of the equal sign. In this case is going to be negative 27. And this is the form the standard form of my original line that was given in point slope form. The example number 2 says write y minus 2 equals negative 1/4 times x minus 8 in slope intercept form. So we see here which one is the slope intercept form, and it's this one, y equals mx plus b. So we have to change this one that is given in point slope form to my new form that is going to be the slope intercept, y equals mx plus b. Forget about this thing, mx plus b. Very good. So I'm going to rewrite it here, y minus 2 equals negative 1/4 times x minus 8. Okay, so I see that I have a 4 underneath this sign here. So what I'm going to do is multiply by 4 both sides to eliminate my 4. So this 4 goes away with this one, and on this side I have 4 times this parenthesis that I'm going to be doing now, distributive property, 4 times y and 4 times 2. 4 times y is going to be 4y minus 4 times 2, 8, equals negative 1 times x minus 8. Very good. I'm going to do distributive here, same thing. Negative 1 times x and negative 1 times 8. I'm going to rewrite everything again. 4y minus 8 equals, now I'm going to do distributive. Negative 1 times x is negative x minus negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. I'm going to rewrite 4y minus 8 equals negative x minus a negative number is the same thing as adding the opposite, 8. The opposite of negative 8 is 8. So in this case, I have 4y minus 8 equals negative x plus 8. I have to bring it to this form. So I have to leave the y in the left side and the rest in the right side. So I'm going to get rid of this negative 8 here by adding 8. I'm going to add 8 in both sides. Plus 8 plus 8. This negative 8 and 8 go away. This is the purpose of adding the same number in both sides. And I have 4y equals negative x, 8 and 8, 16. Very good. Now it's not there yet because the y is alone, and in here the 4 is multiplying the y. So what I'm going to do, divide by 4 and divide by 4. This goes away, and I have that y equals negative x over 4 plus 16 over 4. Now I'm going to work here a little bit, and this is the same thing as writing negative 1/4, negative 1/4 times x is the same thing, plus 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now you can see that I have in the same form of this one. What is going to be my m? Okay, this is going to be my m. M is going to be negative 1/4. And what is going to be my b? My b is going to be this one. And this is my final answer for this exercise. This is the slope intersect form. So you see that I have to work a little bit with the numbers to make it the same way as the slope intercept. Subtracting, adding, dividing. So at the end I have the same equation as the slope intersect form. For exercise number 1, I have this equation, says write each equation in a standard form. Okay, is this in a standard form? No, because the standard form, I'm going to rewrite it, is ax plus by equals c. So I have to bring this one to this form. So what we do, the first thing we do is rewrite it, y plus 2 equals negative 3 times x minus 1. In this case I don't have any denominators, so I don't have to worry about dividing by anything. The only thing I'm going to do here is apply distributive property, multiply the negative 3 times the x and the negative 3 times the 1 here. So I'm going to rewrite everything again, y plus 2. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x minus negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Rewrite y plus 2 equals negative 3x minus a negative number is the same that adding the opposite. The opposite of negative 3 is 3. Very good. Now, what do we do now? Standard form, I need to bring the y's and the x's to the left. So this is in the right, I need to bring it to the left. By doing what? Since this is negative, I'm going to add 3x both sides. And the purpose is to eliminate this one and then have it in the other side. This is going to be 3. This is going to be y, or 3x plus 3x, or 3x plus y plus 2 equal 3. Now, in the left side, I have the x, I have the y, like in this one, but I have one constant, number 2, that I have to bring it to the right side. For this purpose, I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. And then I eliminate this one, and I have 3x plus y equal 3 minus 2, that is 1. And this is my equation in standard form. Let's identify the coefficient. A is going to be the coefficient of x, the number that multiplies the x. So A is going to be 3. My B is going to be the coefficient of y, that in this case is 1. And my C is going to be the constant equals 1. The next one, y minus 1 equals negative 1/3 times x minus 6. Again, I have to bring it to the standard form. Ax plus by equals c. We rewrite this one as y minus 1 equals negative 1/3 minus x times x minus 6. So what I'm going to do now, since I have a denominator here, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Remember to put the parentheses here. This is for eliminating this one and this one, go away, and then I'm going to do distributive property, 3 times y minus 3 times 1. And in this case, it's going to be negative 1 times x minus negative 1 times 6. So let's start in the left side. 3 times y is 3y. 3 minus 3 times 1, 3, equals negative 1 times x is negative x minus negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. So I have 3y minus 3 equals negative x minus a negative number is the same as adding the opposite, 6. Very good. Now I need to bring the x to the left side, because according to this formula, x and y are in the left side and the constant in the right side. So I'm going to add x. I'm going to add x in both sides. Then when I add, this go away, and this 6 is equals to x plus 3y minus 3. Now what do I need to do? Bring this negative 3 to the right. I'm going to add 3 for this purpose. This go away, and then I have x plus 3y equals 6 plus 3, that is 9. And look at that, we have the x on the left side, the y on the left side, and the constant in the right side. Let's identify which one is a. A is going to be the coefficient of x. That's going to be, in this case, 1. My b is going to be the coefficient of y. That's going to be 3. And my c constant is going to be my 9. And this is it for the two first exercise. Now I'm going to invite you to do number 3.